All right. 3, 2, 1. Hey guys, welcome back. Today I'm excited to be introducing Dr. Travis Zigler from Profitable Pineapple, and today he's going to be talking about Amazon and how you can drive traffic and sales off Amazon as well through other channels like Google. Travis, I'll let you take it away.
All right, Sage, thanks for having me on. This is one of my favorite topics to talk about because I have been doing this strategy since 2017, and it has not changed in any way whatsoever since 2017. I love this strategy because it's not the next tactic, it's not the next hack, it's not the next short-term thing that's going to last for 6 months. I have literally been doing this for 8 years, and it works incredibly well. And before I was doing this for Amazon and online brands, I was actually doing it for my brick and mortar practice. I had 2 practices in South Carolina, and I used this exact strategy that I'm going to show you guys today. And yeah, let's just jump in. I'm going to share my screen today. So let me get my screen share pulled up. And you guys should be seeing it right now. Perfect. All right. So I call this my perpetual sales machine. And in today's video, I'm going to show you how to create your own perpetual sales machine. And then I'm going to go into some examples of how we're using it in my brand right now, and then how we use it for our clients as well. So one of the best parts about this strategy is it can get you onto page 1 on Amazon incredibly fast. And so that's what we're going to show you today. So let's jump in. This is just kind of proof in the pudding. When we started this on one of the products we released last June, not 2 months ago, but a year and 2 months ago, we jumped right to page 1 for some of our keywords. And then I'll show you what happened after that. But the last 90 days for this, you can see that we were at about $50,000 a month, or $50,000 for the last 90 days, and we got to about $20,000 a month in revenue with about $8,000 in profit for this. And this is after about 3 months of launching. However, we then fell. We fell from 4.5 to 4 stars down to 3.8 stars. And this is not part of this presentation, but I'm just going to go into how important reviews are, because our sales tanked after this. Our ads became unprofitable. Our profit, we still are profitable, but we're a lot lower in profit. We have not been able to scale this product as a result of our reviews going down. So I can't emphasize the importance of a quality product. This is a quality product, by the way. It's just going after a pain market in the acid reflux market. And acid reflux, that whole market's down like this. However, reviews are paramount, quality products are paramount, differentiating yourself in some way. And so that's what I wanted to go over with this slide, but let's jump into what you guys are here for, which is the perpetual sales machine. Now, the first thing you need to do is you need to know your audience. Knowing your audience is crucial for connecting with that ideal person. And you have to know who your target customer is, and you have to know what problem you are solving for them. What is the outcome that they desire? They're not buying your product to buy your product. They're buying your product to solve a problem. Are they trying to get out of hell, which is avoiding pain, or are they trying to get to heaven, which is finding pleasure? Now, you have to know the answer to this. And if you don't know what your product does, then you're in trouble as a marketer. You have to understand and figure out the problem that your product solves. And so getting them out of pain is simple. I just showed you an example of that, acid reflux. Somebody has acid reflux, their stomach's bothering them, they want something to help solve that. That's what our supplement does. However, it takes a long time. That's why our reviews are down. Whereas in things like Tums is instant gratification. It instantly soothes that acid reflux, and that's what we're going up against. So getting out of pain, some other examples are obesity, headaches, migraines, dry eyes, joint pain, a difficult child, gut health, IBS, acid reflux like I went over before, sleeplessness, debt, a failing business. Amazon PPC can be a pain point. Amazon sales that are decreasing. Now, let's think the opposite of getting someone the pleasure. That's like making more money, driving that fancy car. There's a reason you as an entrepreneur that's watching this loves those. I don't know if they love them, but they're fascinated by the ads with like private jets and Ferraris because you aspire to live that lifestyle. And so that's getting somebody to pleasure. So think about the problem that you solve. So Dr. Barry's, the one I just went over, we solved the problem with acid reflux. At Profitable Pineapple Ads, we serve e-commerce business owners in this health and wellness space that are trying to make the world a better place by healing naturally, people naturally. And so we're trying to help other supplement companies scale. We work with other brands as well, but mostly our focus is around supplement companies. So after you've figured out that problem, you want to write down a whole list of problems that your product solves. You then want to do some keyword research. And so with acid reflux, there's a lot of different terms around that. There's acid reflux, there's heartburn, there's GERD, which is gastroesophageal reflux disease. There's a lot of things that we can go into with keyword research. So what I like to do is I like to take those words, put them into something like Google Keyword Planner, and I like to look at the search volume of those words. And so after I find a high search volume product, meaning 50,000 searches a month or more, with a low competition. So if they have a high search volume with a low competition, because when you're in Google Keyword Planner, it shows you both of those. It will show you the search volume of a word, and it will also show you if it has a lot of competition or not. So I'm looking for words, and most of the time, when you go after a problem-based keyword, they do not have a lot of competition because most people are advertising on product-based keywords. And so when you're going after product-based keywords, that's what you can think about when you're searching on Amazon. Whenever you're searching on Amazon, your intent is to buy. And so when you're searching on Amazon, those are product-based keywords. And so they're going to be more expensive because everybody's going after those. When you move up funnel a little bit to go after problem-based keywords, that's when they become a lot cheaper. And I'll show you some results here towards the end. So after I find certain keywords that I'm going to go after, so in this case, heartburn, acid reflux, GERD, I'm then going to use ChatGPT or whatever AI your choice is. I use Grok to turn your top keywords into blog posts. And then what I usually do is I like to provide useful information around solving that problem. And I don't necessarily put my product front and center of like that being the thing that will solve the problem, but I do use my product as banner ads across my website. So I'll have article all about how to solve GERD, gastroesophageal reflux disease. And all along that blog post, it will be all about how to solve GERD. But then in the middle of those blog posts, I'll have little banner ads, and those banner ads will be my product because my ideal customer is searching for things like heartburn, acid reflux, and GERD. And so I'm getting them over to my website, my blog, all about that, and then I'm advertising my product all over my blog. And so you've seen this constantly across the internet. Whenever you go to a website, it's just riddled with advertising. And those are called programmatic ads, and you can hire something like Google AdSense to put those ads all over your website. However, I just took that strategy and just made it my own. So instead of putting programmatic advertising on my website, I just put the ads myself and put the display ads on myself. And so when they click, they go over to Amazon using an attribution link. And so what I do is put 2 to 4 Amazon attribution links in each blog post that will then go over to buy my product. Because I get my ideal customer who's searching for heartburn relief, acid reflux relief onto a blog post about that topic, and then I have a product called Reflux Essentials right in front of them, then they're most likely to click. And I'm going to go over 2 examples here at the end. So if you guys are kind of feeling a little lost right now, I'll go over 2 examples in depth so you actually see it in person. Plus I have a couple photos coming up here to show you as well. But you want to integrate these attribution links very smoothly. And these attribution links are also going to give you 10% back on anything they purchase. And so I've had cases where we're actually making money because the bonus, the attribution bonus has negated the Google ads. That's rare, but it does happen. But for the most part, these are just profitable ads. And with these ads, you're sending external traffic, which Amazon loves. And so Amazon knows the lifetime value of customers. And so if they get a new customer, they're going to love you for it. And so therefore, if you send them somewhere from a blog over to Amazon and they buy, or even just get on their platform, they know how much value that is to them. And so they're going to reward you for that. And they're going to increase your organic rank. And that's pretty much how we launched this product. If we went back to that first slide, the first 2 months of launching this product, we were on page 1. And all we did was send external traffic because Amazon PPC was like $8 to $10 cost per click. And we just couldn't compete with that. It just wouldn't have been profitable. And so we used this strategy instead, and we got to page 1 pretty quickly. So Now we're going to publish it. So we're going to publish this post to your blog, and now it's a blog post. And then we're just going to share it across social media and share it across your email list. Hopefully you guys have an email list. If you don't have an email list, start building it. That's going to be part of the strategy as well. But we just want to start getting traffic to it. Now, organically, it's not going to get a lot of traffic at first. Just like your Amazon product, when you first launch your Amazon product, it's going to get 0 organic traffic because it's unproven. The same thing is true with a blog. A blog is going to get 0 traffic because it's unproven. And you got to think of your blog like a product and your product like a blog. Like Google is not going to show your blog because you just came out with it. You have to get traffic to it. Amazon is not going to show your product just because you came out with it. You have to get traffic to it. It's the same concept with both things. So real briefly, this is what an article looks like. So this one's all about GERD, and you can see the complications of GERD over there. And then you can see how our banner ad is just right in the middle of it, talks about our product, has our product front and center, has a little button, check price and purchase on Amazon, and that will click over to Amazon through an attribution link to buy. Now, how do we get traffic to this? Google Ads. So we did Google Keyword Planner to find the words. Now we're going to use Google Ads to then advertise the words. I create single keyword ad campaigns on Google Ads to these blog posts. So we have Google ad about GERD over to a blog post about GERD that has advertising of our product all over it. So I hope that makes sense so far. This will all come together at the end, and you'll kind of see the whole flow of it. So this is what that looks like. This is a week. Recently, we got 2,000 clicks for about $273. And so that's a lot of clicks for a very low cost. You can't get 2,000 clicks for $270 pretty much anywhere anymore. And this is a good way to do that because we're going after the problem-based keywords. And you can see how many of these we created. You're going to see later when I update you with a live look how we've narrowed it down. But what we like to do is we like to test out a ton of blogs. So we'll usually test out 7 to 10 blogs because 1 will do really, really, really well, 2 will do okay, and the rest will just flop. And so you have to keep testing in order to try this out. And again, this is for blogs. Like every 10 blogs, 1 will do great, 2 will do okay, the rest will flop. The same thing is true with your products. I have tons of entrepreneurs contact me that saying they can't sell their product. They've tried 1 product. When I built my brand, I Love, we had 170 SKUs across the whole lifetime of the brand. When we sold the brand for a multi-million-dollar exit, we had 16 SKUs. So 170 products, 16 SKUs, 4 were the big winners. 4 were million-dollar products or more. And then the rest of them were just kind of base hits or doubles. And so you have to keep testing everything and keep coming out with stuff because you're going to have a lot more failures than wins. You can think of business and blog posting and everything like baseball. When you're playing baseball, if you have a 300 or a 30% batting average or 300 batting average, that's great. And if you're above that, you're exceptional. If you're below that, it's pretty normal. But you got to think you're going to have more failures than wins. So before I get into the next one, let me go back here. You can stop right here. You can just drive Google Ads to a blog post over to Amazon. And that's it. You can stop right there. And that is enough to drive external traffic over to Amazon. But if you want to build a perpetual sales machine, we need to take it 1 step further. And that 1 step further is we have to start collecting emails. You have to start building your audience. And you need an irresistible lead magnet. This is something that you give away in exchange for someone's email address. Now, giving your email address in return for something may not seem like a personal decision for us because we are internet marketers. However, it's very personal. It's just like giving up your address or your phone number. People don't like to just give it away. So you have to give them something very enticing. The offer has to be great. And everybody's probably read the $100 Million Leads book by Alex Hormozi. I highly recommend reading that because that will help you in this situation. But you can give them something like a listicle, a book, a coupon. Most people just give like a 10% off coupon. It's like you go to a website, it's like 10% off coupon right away, but you don't even know what they want. And so try to customize the pop-up in the lead magnet to whatever page they're on. So when I get them on a blog about GERD, I'm going to have a lead magnet all about GERD. And to get that lead magnet, they're going to have to sign up with an email. And I'll show you what that looks like here in just a little bit too. And so you want to focus the lead magnet again on the biggest problem that your product solves. So that way you know where their mindset is and you can seamlessly integrate them to then go buy this product. So again, I kind of went over a couple of those. But yeah, so let me show you what that looks like. So you can use a pop-up on your blog. You can offer the lead magnet in exchange for their email. And then you want to keep the pop-up bar and branding consistent with your blog. So I kind of went over that in the last slide, but got ahead of myself. But this is what ours looks like. And I'll show you what we've updated it to. This is very simple. They're on our acid reflux website. Free guide, eat, sleep, and breathe your way to less acid reflux. Get the guide. It's as simple as that. Now, I'm going to show you a trick later on that what we did to increase our conversion rate to almost double. And so to increase it to almost double, we made them nod their head yes a couple times by clicking yes, no questions. And then we asked for their email. And that like doubled our conversion rate from around, I think this pop-up was around 3%. And I think now it's around 5%, 5 to 6%. And that's huge in the pop-up space because pop-ups just aren't liked. So after they enter their email address and get the guide, we then just have a simple thank you. Check your email for a link to download the acid reflux guide. In the meantime, check out this. Check out the sales price of Reflux Essentials. Again, attribution link going over to Amazon. And so we have ads on the blog, and then we have this pop-up to get their email address with the thank you page of our product right there. And then we'll send them just a quick anything from 3 to 7 emails. These can be very quick. Again, with ChatGPT and AI, this can be done in no time. This used to take us months to set up. Like to write 10 blog articles, to write 7 emails, to then create the lead magnet. It used to take us months to do that because of the blog posting. I can get an entire perpetual sales machine done in like 3 hours now. It takes no time at all because we have ChatGPT. And you're going to make these welcome emails around the blogs that you write. And you want your product to be front and center in those emails, asking for the sale in a couple of them as well. And so super easy. There's no excuse not to do this anymore because how easy AI makes it. Literally 2 to 3 months down to 2 to 3 hours. That's like the power of AI. And so you have to use it for that. All right. So then you're gathering this email list, continue to provide value. So don't just stop at that 3 to 7 welcome series. I send an email out every single week. If you're on my email list for Profitable Pineapple Ads, you probably notice I send an email out on Monday, Tuesday, and Thursday. And then if you're on my drip sequence, the welcome sequence, it's Wednesday, Friday. So I send 3 emails out every single week. Monday's about the YouTube video release. Tuesday is just whatever I'm feeling like. I actually write the Tuesday email. And then Thursday is usually around a customer testimonial or some results we've had to get people to apply to work with us. But the thing is to give and don't spam. Give them something of value. Don't just spam them with your product. And the whole Gary V philosophy of jab, 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 right hook. So you just want to keep giving until they pretty much ask you or they apply to work with you or they go buy your product. You just want to keep doing that. So just start out with sending 1 email a week. Don't do 2 to 3. Just do 1 a week and do whatever you're feeling. Talk about your brand. Talk about the growth of your brand. Talk about what you're doing to build your brand. Having that behind the scenes look it's special. It's fun. And so this is like the whole perpetual sales machine in one graph. And so what we have here is we create that blog post around the problem that your product solves right there. In the blog post, we then have ads that have attribution links that go over to Amazon. To get traffic to the blog, we use Google Ads to then go to the blog. So we got Google Ads to a blog with Amazon attribution links to Amazon. We then have a pop-up to get their email address. The email address will then go, or the emails will then go back to the blog posts, not just the one that we got the email on, but the other blog posts. Remember, we're writing 7 to 10 blogs. Send people to that from your email address. Because if they have GERD, and then you have another article about GERD food, and then you have another article about GERD recipes, you can keep sending them content. and stuff that they'll come back to consume your blog. And guess what's on your blog? Your pop-up, your ads. But then you can also send your email directly to Amazon. So send an email directly asking for the sale. Hey, you were on our GERD website recently. Here's our product, specially formulated for whatever. You can also do Google Ads traffic direct to Amazon. I didn't get into that much, but you can do Google Ads traffic direct to Amazon to buy your product. That's another form of external traffic. And when you create this complete flywheel, like I said, you can just focus on this one, Google Ads to blog to Amazon, and that alone. But if you want to create the perpetual sales machine, you then get your email address, and then you get them back to the blog, and then you get their emails and send them to Amazon. And what this does is as you gain more email followers, you then get more traffic back to your blog, you get more traffic to Amazon. And then you can turn up the Google Ads even more and more and more. And you can scale it as a result of getting more and more followers. It's an incredibly effective way to do that. So I have a free course on how to build this whole perpetual sales machine. It's a 6-hour course total. It's free. The first 4 hours are all about Amazon PPC. The last 2 hours are me building my exact perpetual sales machine. But this is that 9-step process that we just went over. Now, what I want to do is I want to jump over to my other screen and show you guys some examples of this. And then, yeah, and I think that will help you guys out a little bit more. So let me grab this screen, bring it over so you guys can see it. All right. So this is that brand that we just talked about. And so you can see with this one, we've kind of dropped off of page 1, but we're still kind of there. And this is with terrible reviews. Imagine if you had a good product with good reviews. This would work even more effectively, but you can still see we're on page 1 for quite a few. And this product's been out for 14 months now. Again, very little PPC, very little. And it's all because we're sending external traffic. But it kind of faded after we started losing reviews. This is another one. It gets better reviews. It's not a very competitive market. And so we're pretty much #1 across the board just because we built a perpetual sales machine for it and we just run. We don't run that many ads for this product. We just have that perpetual sales machine in place and it just consistently feeds Amazon with external traffic, leaving us #1. Very uncompetitive category though. And don't everybody go out and source Heidel Health stuff because it's not a big category, as you can see with 700 search volume. It's just not that big. But it provides us with a nice little $1,000 a week in profit, and we're okay with that. And then this one is one that we just launched. So we just launched this one. I think we launched it August 30th. At the time of this recording, it's September 16th. And so actually it might have been a little longer than that, but you can see this is a very competitive category. All we're doing is sending external traffic. And we're already on page 4, page 4, page 6, page 6. Not moving as fast as our other one did. However, I think, as you can see, we're just continuing to climb. And so we're not seeing this go back down. And so we're going to continue to watch that, but we just released that one. So let me show you this one because it's fresh in our minds. This is the ad. Again, I tried 10 different blog posts and 9 of them actually didn't do that well. And 1 of them did. And so we focused all our efforts back on that. And the email series that we actually produced around this was way off from what we thought it was going to be. And it didn't work at all. And so we had to go back in and change our whole email series too. And so again, it didn't take that long though. But this is an example of the Google blogs. You can see cleanse from within. This one's for liver detox. And so we have them going over to a liver detox article. Before I show you the article, I want to show you the website. And so this is the pop-up. So you can see we have a 5-day liver challenge. And would you like to take it? Yes or no? So we make them nod their head yes. They want to say they want to take it. So then they put their email address in. After they put their email address in.
Sorry, I was curious. Is this also for qualification as well, the yes or no question?
Yeah, the yes or no question, just to see if that's what they're looking for. And if they are, then we're going to show them the thank you, which is our product. And then we're going to go right over there. And you can see here's our product. So we like to have a great offer when we're launching. So 40% off coupon when you subscribe. And then good reviews on this product. So I have a good feeling about this product. We're up to, gosh, I think 3 sales a day on this product. And if you guys know anything about supplements, when you launch supplements, it is hard. And so 3 sales a day is great for the start, but we're starting to scale it. And so we're pretty excited about this product. But good offer, 40% off with a lower price. And so they can get that first bottle for essentially like less than 20 bucks to try it out. And you can really feel the benefits of this. And so this is a great product to try, but hard to market on Amazon. And that's a big problem that people just don't realize, is like Amazon is hard to market on for supplements. So you got to get creative. And it might be for a lot of categories now. I'm going to move this over here so I can show you guys that exact article. Here's that exact article. Pretty simple article, not much to it. Actually, I haven't moved the ad over to our new website. So that's funny. That's even going on our old website with no design. Whereas when we created this one, it actually has design. So glad I went over this example, because now I know I have to do something. Here's one more example. So this is the acid reflux. So this is one that we're still running and it's still doing well. But here's the ad examples. You can see no more heartburn hell, no more acid agony, GERD reflux, GERD relief without the drugs. And then this is what that page looks like, or the pop-up looks like. Do you have stomach discomfort from coffee and food? Which I know the answer to that, because that's what acid reflux sufferers have. So they click yes. Did you want our free guide on how to decrease your acid reflux? Yes. So we get 2 yeses before they enter their email address. So they're kind of already committed at that point. They click get the guide and then check price and purchase on Amazon. Now this one, we did something a little different. Let me see if I can get this to not go away. Okay. This one goes right over to our Amazon product. This one actually goes over to our Shopify store. And so we've added, if you put your phone number in there, let's see. But if you don't want to put your phone number in to get the 25% off, you can just check price on Amazon. So once you put your phone number in, then it will go to our Shopify store instead. And we have a landing page on Shopify too. So let me, oh, I might have closed it. That's okay. I was going to show you the exact page that this one's on. So let me find that again. There we go. All right, so this is the exact page that this one's on. So you can see a nice little advertisement right here. Here's our free guide again. And then you can see banner ads right in the middle. The banner ads will go over to Amazon to buy. So this one doesn't have its coupon on anymore. I think it's because it's too low of ranking. But you can see this one's all about omeprazole, which is a common medication for GERD. And look at that, even poorly designed, and it's still working. We just redid this whole website, so that's why there's errors in the formatting.
Well, you guys just launched, right? I mean, as well.
We bought this brand about a year ago, and we just launched this product, but we launched the other product a little while ago. But yeah, that's essentially it. I mean, that's how you build a perpetual sales machine. You got to know your audience, research the keywords, write the blog post using ChatGPT, put some Amazon attribution links in there, post the blog, Google Ads to get traffic to the blog, lead magnet email series, and then email drip sequence. And again, it looks exactly like this. And it's simple. It really is simple. However, if it's not working for you right away, you have to keep testing it. You just have to keep testing. Your messaging's off. Your offer is off. The lead magnet's off. If something isn't working, start with your offer. Like, is your product that compelling to buy? And if it's usually not price, it's usually a copy of some kind, reviews, something's missing. Number 2, then we just need to get more leads in the door, more traffic. I had an event at my house in April, and we had a hot seat where everybody came up and had a hot seat one-on-one with me and the rest of the people there. And almost, I'd say 95% of the people there, their problem was traffic. They just don't have enough traffic going to their listing. You can't test anything without traffic. And this solves for that quite a bit. So that's why I'm so obsessed with this strategy, and I've been doing it for for almost 8 years now.
Awesome. Love it. So the perpetual, is it perpetual sales
Machine. Perpetual sales machine, the PSM.
Perpetual sales machine. I've seen this machine work time and time again. Like you said, it's something that has been the tried and true strategy, something very simple, but not always easy. Like Alex Hormozy, like you did mention, the $100 million leads, great value book there. It's important to know the basics, but knowing the basics and doing the basics are two very different things. And I think you're totally right, Travis. You get this right, and anybody who's on Amazon right now and not on Shopify, not outside collecting emails, is going to be served well with this exact machine. And so, yeah, if people want to know more exactly where to go, what to do from you, where can they find you?
Yeah, I'll pull this back up, but profitablepineapple.com. Profitablepineapple.com is where you can get my 2-hour course on how I built this. So if you go over to my website, and I'll just show you guys. If you go to the website and click on free PPC course, and then get this right here, that will take you over. You'll get the free Amazon PPC course. That's the first 4 hours of this course. The last 2 hours of the course is how I build my perpetual sales machine. And it's literally the training I use to train my team. And I just give it to the world because hopefully you'll be too overwhelmed to do it and you'll just come hire us.
All right. Well, awesome. Thank you so much for your time, Travis. And you helped a lot of people get a bit closer towards their goals, especially as Q4 is approaching.
Yeah. Thanks for having me on.
Thanks so much.